All right, welcome back, everybody, to Rome, and we've got 3 matches left for the tournament, which is, it was crazy like 3 days ago, and now it's just sort of like a couple of matches left. We know who's in the final. Alcaraz is playing the winner of this match between Paul and Sinner. Sinner's coming off that incredible win over Ruud. Paul's been sneaky good this week as well. Nobody's really been talking about Tommy Paul that much. And he's just kind of gone under the radar again. But he's playing Sinner, and we all know that after what he did to Ruud, Sinner's looking real scary. Looking really scary. These guys have played 4 times. Paul's actually won one of those 4 matches. And there was also a competitive match last year at the US Open where Paul took Sinner to a couple of tie breaks before Sinner ran away with the match. So I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people are probably thinking that, here we go again. If you can beat Ruud 6-love, 6-1, then Paul should be able to get a game. But I don't know. I feel like Paul might be a little bit more prepared mentally and maybe tactically against Sinner, expecting to have that Sinner that played the other night. Whereas maybe Ruud got caught by surprise a little bit. He probably thought, oh, well, we're playing on clay. This is my surface. And Sinner came out and was a beast, and maybe Ruud wasn't expecting it. But Paul knows what he's up against. He saw it the other day. He knows what he's playing up against. So maybe he'll be more prepared than Ruud, and maybe it's going to be more competitive. I hope so. I would love to have a good match. But how are we doing, chat? What's going on? What are we doing? Sinner's a tennis demigod. He's a beast. Paul can quickly fall apart. I mean, not really. I mean, Paul's pretty solid. Paul's pretty solid, Sweating in this New York City humidity. Oh, is it hot in New York? Sinner's going to win. He is on a different level. As I said, only Carlos can beat him. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, not the hottest take in the world, but fair enough. I get it. Not bad, just humid, rain. Fair enough. Given what happened yesterday, pressure is off Paul, so he might do well as expectation is lower from the crowd. Oh yeah, no one's expecting Paul to even show up today. The expectations on Paul is 0. So that, and again, that could help. That could help him, I think Paul will be a lot more competitive. Yeah. Draper beat Paul 2-2 in Madrid. Does Paul get more games today? Maybe. I think he's going to be better than Ruud was against Sinner, but I don't know if he... Again, I'm not saying he's going to even get a set, right? I don't think Tommy Paul's getting a set. But I think it's going to be more competitive. A little more competitive than Ruud. I mean, the bar's pretty low. I think Paul's the best American clay court player. He is at the moment, yeah. Sinner is a different beast since his comeback. Why do you make me do this? We got to remember that we got to get out of the recency bias because it happens so often. Sinner's been good this week. He wasn't great against Cerundolo, which was 2 matches ago. He was good against Navone and against De Jong, but of course he was. He was spectacular against Ruud, right? That was insane. But the match before, he wasn't the same. He wasn't like that. So yeah, he's been great for that one match that he played against Ruud was great. And if he plays like that tomorrow and today and tomorrow, he's going to win the whole thing. But we got to remember the first 3 matches, he was rusty and there was errors. He wasn't 100. He wasn't as good as he was against Ruud in the first 3 matches. So he hasn't been great all week. He was great against Ruud. Just got to remember that. And we'll see if he's great again today. Because if he's great again today, then we go, okay, first 3 matches, rusty, getting back into it, and then finally quarterfinals onwards, he's taken to another level, and the rust is gone. Right? That's what we'll find out today. If he can, if what we saw against Ruud is the level that he's going to bring, or if the level he brought against Ruud was just a statement, and then today he might not be at that same level. I mean, it was a pretty crazy level that he was at. I know Ruud wasn't great either. Ruud was nervous playing, making errors, but Ruud said himself, he just sat back and was like, too good, right? I mean... Is Vera playing Hamburg next week? Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Did not expect that. Musetti never liked Sinner. They're not friends. Oh, okay. I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but okay. Geneva draw is interesting. Yeah, I saw it. It is interesting. It is an interesting draw for sure. Thanks, Deb. All right. What is the record between Sinner and Alcaraz? 4-6. Can we please, just for this match, please, can we just please not talk about the final until we finish the match? Just out of respect for the opponent, can we try and do that for one match? Just for one match, please? Just for one match. And then we can talk all day after the match if it becomes what the final becomes. But can we just remember that Tommy Paul's here? He is playing today, and the final hasn't been set yet, all right? Can we just leave all the questions for the final after this match, all right? Just out of respect for TP, all right? Just respect for TP. He's made it to the semis. He's been a beast in his own way. Let's just stop talking about Sinner Alcaraz final before it even has happened. And if the first set's 6-1 and the second set he's up 3-love, we can start talking about it. But just to start with, can we not, before the final even starts, can we not do anything? Can we not do it? Just this one. Just this one time. We'll get to the final when we get to it, yeah? Yeah, we could talk after an hour or two, yeah. Can't wait for the final. I love Paul Alcaraz rivalry. Okay, well now you're doing the opposite thing. Yes. Now you're going the other way. Can we respect Sinner as well? He's also have to play this match, right? I don't know what the hold-up is, if it's weather-related. Let me check. I know they just had a doubles match, so maybe they're just waiting for the doubles to disappear. Maybe. Are they waiting for the dubs to vacate? And they have to change the net and all that stuff. Paul should be respected. Stop predicting finals. No, it's not about predicting finals. It's just about talking about the final when we haven't even had the semi-finals yet. So just, you know. All right, 1 second, chap. All right. Players about to come out on court. We all know the final will be Alcaraz Sinner. Come on. Yeah, but that's fine. You can talk about it. But I'm not going to be discussing who's going to win the final before we have it even got to the final. All right. Here we go. Players about to arrive. And we are about to begin the warm-up. Sinner's too kind of bagel TP. He's not that kind of person. He doesn't need to do that to TP, okay? By packed house, no surprise. Do you think the pressure could affect Sinner? Maybe against Alcaraz if they do play in the final. But I think that Paul... I would be disappointed if Paul wasn't more competitive against Ruud. More competitive than Ruud. I don't think Paul's going to win. I predicted Sinner. But I think that Paul might surprise. Or at least be more competitive. Think Sinner will pull through, but pretty closer than Ruud? Yeah, closer than the Ruud match. I think so. Matchup is better for Paul than it was for Ruud? Yeah. And like I said, Ruud coming into that match against Sinner was probably thinking, I've got a good chance here. Like, it's on my surface. He's not, his clay's on his thing. He would have seen the Cerundolo match and thought, maybe I'm a chance. And then Sinner came out and put the foot down. Whereas Paul saw that from Ruud and saw what Sinner did to Ruud. So Paul's going to be like, okay, I'm not going to expect this guy to give me shots. I'm going to expect the guy that beat Ruud, and that's what I'm going to play to, right? So I think Paul's going to have a much higher level earlier than what Ruud did. Because I think Ruud maybe was thinking, he's a bit rusty, maybe I can play my way into this match. But then Sinner was up 5-love, right? And then by the time he was up 5-love, Ruud had no answers and it was over. Paul's going to be ready from game number one. He's going to be expecting that level of Sinner from game one. And if he doesn't get that level and Sinner's a little bit behind, because we don't know if Sinner's going to be at the same level as the Ruud match, if he's not as good as the Ruud match early, maybe Paul gets an early break. Maybe Paul is more competitive in the first, half of the set, right? We'll see. Paul's got variety as well. Like he'll use it. He'll charge the net. He'll come to the net. He'll attack. Whereas Ruud, was kind of a little bit more defensively playing Sinner. Paul's gonna Cobra Kai this shit. He's gonna strike first. Sinner versus Alcaraz, who wins? Bro, you must have just got here. All right. Players are on court, and we're ready to go. They are about to warm up, and then we're about to get this semi-final started. All right. Sweep the leg. That's it. Sweep the leg. Put him in a body bag. All right. Here we go. They're just going to toss the coin and start this match. Here we go. All right, Paul's going to serve. Sinner won the toss, elected to receive. Here we go. Here we go. Enjoy the moment. Sometimes semifinals are bigger than finals. Yeah, they are. I mean, we had a crazy match last night that didn't feel great to watch, but maybe in hindsight it might have been the final, the epic final. We don't know. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess, but yeah. Now, what does Paul have to do to be competitive? He can't give away errors. If Sinner's going to play like he did against Ruud, Paul can't give away any errors. He has to be clean for the entire match. No free points, no silly errors. but he also has to be aggressive. So controlled aggression is key. He's got to serve well, right? And it's not easy because he's got to be aggressive. He can't just play safe, but he also can't overplay. There's a small margin, right? And that's just to be competitive. We're not even talking about him winning. We're talking about him just like not suffering the same fate as Ruud, right? We're talking about like a close, 4-4 or something. If he does that, and Sinner plays the game he did the other day. Paul can't go down an early break either. All right, 3 minutes. You got to watch that Arnold movie that you got tonight. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. By the way, chat, I'm taking this very seriously. I went and cleaned all the DVD covers because they were all from the thrift store, and just to clean them up, right? Cleaned them all up, polished them all up. Took off all the stickers that were. I wanted to keep like the stickers that were like from back in the day when they were in like a video store. Like sometimes you could buy DVDs and they still have the video store sticker. So I want to keep that on, but get rid of like the price tag from the thrift store. But I washed them all, and I piled them up and go, okay, this is what I'm going to watch next. I've got Kill Bill 1 and 2 because I haven't seen that. I've got that Arnold Schwarzenegger, that Arnold movie. What is it? Whatever that movie was, the Arnold one, End of Days or whatever it's called. I got that, and then my rewatch pile. Top of the pile, Lebowski. Second, War of the Worlds. They're my two rewatch piles because I haven't watched those movies for a while. Thrift Store Cam. This could be a miniseries. Hey, it could be on the 7th channel. Kill Bill 1 and 2 are classics. Yeah, I've never seen them. Which is, which is crazy, right? I've seen pretty much every other Tarantino movie. I've seen Reservoir Dogs. I've seen Pulp Fiction. I've seen all the newer ones, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Django. Friggin' the Inglourious Bastards. Like, I've seen them all. Haven't seen Kill Bill 1 and 2. What is it? Hateful Eight? Is that the other one? The Western? That's a great movie. I gotta find that. That's what I gotta find. Hateful Eight. But I haven't seen the Kill Bill movies yet. But now I will. Fun fact: Tarantino worked in a video store when he was younger. Gangs of New York, not on the rewatch pile. Oh no, that's on the rewatch pile as well. But the first ones I want to rewatch are like Lebowski. I just donated a few DVDs at Goodwill. My daughter cleaned her room. Nice. Well, somebody like me might walk in and then get those DVDs and rewatch them. So they're going to a new home. You can skip Hateful Eight. I thought it was good. I didn't mind it. It's a little bit long. It takes a little bit of time to get into, but I thought it was good. All right. Because you started watching Wimbledon, looks nice. You mean the movie? Nice. You want to rewatch Fight Club? Yeah, Fight Club. I'll get Fight Club eventually. There's movies that I'm like going to get there eventually, but for now, the ones that I got, I want to watch the ones I got and rewatch the ones I've got, and then if I get bored, get new ones. Because if I just pile up on like 1,000 DVDs, I'll never watch any of them. I didn't buy the DVDs not to watch them, right? So I want to buy them, watch them, and then get new ones and keep the old ones and build. Okay. Here we go. Paul's going to serve. What we got, chat? Who we got winning this one? Instead of just saying Sinner, give me a score prediction. Give me a score prediction. What do you think's going to happen in the score? Like, what is it? 6-4, 6-3, 7-6, 6-1? Like, what do you reckon? As Paul, forehand, into the forehand of Sinner. Paul with the forehand to the backhand of Sinner. Into the backhand of Paul. The Sinner forehand into the forehand of Paul. Sinner on the stretch. As Paul goes down the line, Sinner's got it with the backhand. Paul's there with his own backhand. As Sinner down the line, Paul's got it with the forehand cross, but it goes long. That's love 15. Sinner 3-3, Sinner 3-2, 4-2 Sinner, 7-5, 6-2 Paul. Okay. 4-4. Paul's going to win 6-4, 4-6, 7-6. That would be epic if we had that match. 7-5, 6-1, 7-5, 6-3, 7-6, 6-1, 6-1, 6-2. All right. And there's a forehand from Paul. That's a winner. See, Ruud wasn't doing that yesterday. Paul was coming to the net. Ruud wasn't doing that yesterday. 15-all. Chad, is Tommy Paul the coolest tennis player at the moment? Like, I want to have a drink with Tommy Paul. Like, is he the coolest player in the top 20? And sort of backhand now into the forehand of Sinner, into the forehand of Paul. Sinner with the backhand, into the backhand of Paul. Sinner backhand again to the backhand of Paul, who hits it down the line, but it's in to the forehand of Sinner. Forehand from Paul on the stretch. Sinner goes down the line, hits it out, 30-15. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know if he's still his partner, but his girlfriend was like this, like, famous chick, you know, like, he's seems like a chill dude. He kind of seems down to earth, but also, like, he's got swagger about him. Cool and real, yeah. As with a second serve, the back and center. Return goes long, and it's 40-15. Likes to go hunting, does he? Okay. Probably rock climbs. His girlfriend became famous due to him? No. I thought his girlfriend was already famous because didn't she date like some Hollywood actors? I thought she was like a Hollywood person. I thought she was an actress or something. Anyways, first serve the fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Sinner. Forehand from Paul. To the backhand of Sinner. Sinner in the net. 1-love. Paul wins the first game. So anyone who said 6-love, 6-love, you're out. You're out. That's how they make us in New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey's great. Never been, but I will one day. He's already won as many games as Ruud. Yes. Congratulations. You can count to one. You were right. He's already won as many games as Casper Ruud. 1. Congratulations. All right. Sinner to serve. This is the first time Sinner's been losing a match for a couple of days. All right. Sinner serves. As he serves a let. No, don't worry, Brent. It's all good. Now, 1-love Paul. Serve from Sinner. Into the backhand of Paul. Slice goes into the forehand of Sinner. And, Sinner gets him. Inside our forehand winner. 15-love. 15-love. Serve again. Serve. Into the forehand of Paul. Good return. Sinner gets it. Paul goes again to the forehand of Sinner. There's Paul forehand on the stretch. Into the forehand of Sinner. Paul with the backhand on the stretch. As Sinner again to the backhand of Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner. As Paul runs around, hits a forehand inside out. To the backhand again of Sinner. As Paul forehand goes cross court. Sinner winds up and hits it out. 15-all. You know another thing, chat, that Paul has over Ruud? He has a win over Sinner, but he also has competitive matches consistently over Sinner. Like, it's never a blowout. Whereas Ruud, if you look at his rivalry, he hadn't won a match, but he also had barely won, like, being competitive in the sets. Again, so confidence levels between Ruud versus Sinner, Paul versus Sinner. Paul has got way more confidence against this guy. As we get a return now from Paul, that's a good shot. Sinner gets it back into the forehand of Paul, and Paul hits a winner. 15-30. What I say, chat, at the start of this match, Paul's got to come out here and just be aggressive, and he is. And he's maybe catching Sinner a little bit off guard. Like, Paul hit that with 100% power. That was as hard as he could hit the ball, and he ripped it for a winner. Captain America. That's a good one. All right, serve. Into the back of Paul. Return goes into the forehand of Sinner. Oh, Sinner just too good. Up goes a lob by Paul, but Sinner gets the point. Jeez. Sinner's forehand is so scary. Like, when he's winding up, you're just like, where is he going to hit it? And also, what angle is it going to have? Like, how far? Like, his forehand is scary. When Sinner's got time to hit the forehand, good luck. You just guess at that point. 30-all. I just like seeing Kamsay hit a winner. Yeah, I know, right? We haven't had that for the last couple of days. We had that with Ruud yesterday against Sinner when Sinner was just hitting winners all over the place. But all right, 30-all, second serve Sinner. Ooh, double fault. All right. And we got a break point for Tommy Paul. 30-40. 30-40. Bro, Sinner isn't a sinner anymore. The Pope forgave him for his sins. It's just his name. It's just his nickname. Like his last name. It's just his surname. It's got nothing to do with his life. It's just his name. Just his name. It's not that deep. 30-40. There's a backhand now from Paul in the return. Into the backhand of Sinner. It's Paul. Again to the backhand of Sinner. To the backhand of Paul. As Sinner hits a forehand. Again to the backhand of Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner. It's Paul. Forehand again. Sinner goes to the backhand into the backhand of Paul. Again to the backhand of Sinner. Tommy Paul backhand. Again to the backhand of Sinner. Is he going to pull the trigger? No. As he goes a forehand in the net from Paul. I thought Paul was going to go down the line with a backhand, but he just didn't risk it at that point. He went back to Sinner, and then Sinner won the point. Deuce. All right, deuce. Cam, you're right. Paige Lorenz dated a few high-profile guys, sort of. Morgan Wallen and Armie Hammer being the most famous. Yeah. I thought that was the case. Anyways, backhand to backhand rally. And now she's dating Tommy Paul, who is the best out of all of them. Sinner hits it wide. Advantage Paul. Advantage Paul. Advantage Paul. To take the break early in this match. Paul with a break point, number 2. Serve. In the net from Sinner. All right, second serve. Let's see what Paul does to this one. Second serve. Into the backhand of Paul. Return goes into the backhand of Sinner. Paul with the backhand. Down the middle. Sinner gets with the forehand into the forehand of Paul. To the backhand of Sinner. Paul, backhand again. Into the backhand of Sinner. Hits it in the nets. The crowd are stunned. 2-love. Tommy Paul. Chat. Sometimes I make sense. Remember when I talked about World Idol and you all watched it yesterday and now we can talk about it? Sometimes I wasn't lying. It was Simon Cowell and Kelly Clarkson was on it, the show, and it was the best. It was 11 different people. All right. A German guy say maniac. It was a whole thing. As we just said about wide, 2003 was on Christmas Day. As we're a 4-1 on the stretch, into the backhand of Paul, backhand in the net from Paul, love 15. Love 15. Paul's, again, like I said at the start of the match, he's got to hold. He's got to hold. He's got to hold. Even more so now that he's got the break. All right, love 15. And Sinner returns and Paul, oh no! He hits an easy shot in the net. Sinner was running the wrong way. Would have been a winner. But Paul gave that one up. Love 30. That was bad. Bad miss. Can't be doing those. Darren. Sorry, Cam, should I have given Paul more credit? I mean, look, he could still lose this at 6-2, so let's not lose our minds. But anybody that thought this was going to be the same as Casper Ruud match, it's already been proven wrong. Anyways, 15-30. All right, Paul's still under pressure here to keep this break. Sinner with the backhand. Into the backhand of Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner as Paul forehand cross court. Sinner on the run goes wide. Okay. Paul making Sinner move. I love this from Tommy Paul. I love this from Paul. All right, 30-0. All. As we return now from Sinner into the corner, Paul goes down the line. Sinner's there with a slice. As Paul backhand, Sinner's got it right there with a lob, but he can't control it and it goes out. 40-30, Paul. Hey, Casper, Paul just won 2 games. More than what you won in 10 minutes. Something to think about. Yeah, Matthew, Casper is not in the chat. I don't know who you're talking to. He's not here. He doesn't come here. I don't think any players are here. I don't know who you're talking to. He won't read that, so I don't know what you... I don't know what you're talking about. Who you're talking like? He won't read you. He's not here. Anyways, that's in the net by Sinner. 3-love. 3-love, Paul. And that was from love 30 down, and he come back and win it. 12 minutes, 3-love to Tommy Paul. This is the perfect start. Perfect start for Tommy Paul. Now, I got to mention the obvious thing. So we have seen Paul in a position like this against some players recently. I think he was up wasn't he up a break in one of the sets against Sinner in the US Open last year, and then he lost both tie breaks in the first 2, but he was up I swear he was serving for the second set or something. Maybe that was against Zverev though, because he was against Zverev in the Australian Open. He was also in a position to win one of the first 2 sets, and he kind of let it slip. So he's in a good position, but let's see if he can get something for it. It was against Zverev, I remember that, but was it also against Sinner? Did he have a chance to win one of the first 2 sets against Sinner? I feel like he did, but I can't remember which one. Yeah, Paul could have won both sets against Zverev in the Australian Open, and he ended up winning the third, which was too late. I just can't remember. But he has, winning position. He's in a good position. He had set points in the second set against Sinner. I thought so. So yeah, so he has, and again, that's something that Casper Ruud can't say, right? He can't say that he's had that, he has that, right? Which is maybe why he didn't have that confidence. The same that Paul has the confidence right now. But none of this matters, Chad, if Sinner wins this set 6-3. 3-love lead is cute, but it won't be remembered unless you take the set. You got to win the set. He's got to take the set. Otherwise, it means nothing. Good start means nothing. Sinner he put the foot down. Sinner put the foot down. 15 love. Sinner's here now. It's just the Uber was running late. I'll tell you what, Sinner's dad, if he didn't start scratching his ear, I would have thought he was a statue. Is that his mum as well? His mum, I'll be honest, they're very serious. They're very serious people. They look kind of bored. No, I'm sure they're not. I'm sure they're just nervous. Sinner with a drop volley goes wide. 15-0. 15-0. They look they're very... Does Sinner have any siblings? Like brother, sister, anything? I've never seen his dad's been to matches. I've never seen his mum there. Who the hell's that lady? Oh, it's my chat. I'm so sorry. That's Flavia Pennetta. My bad. I'm so sorry. It was blurry. I'm wearing glasses. I can't see. That's why everyone was clapping. I thought they were just showing some random Italian lady. That's a champion of US Open. 15-0. Sorry. That is one of the greatest Italian players of all time. I'm sorry. That was my bad. As that goes out by Sinner, 15-30. He's got a brother. Oh, foster brother. Okay. Nice. Paul's about to get a 4-love lead. Just remember that. Just 4-love. Yeah, it's Fanini's. It's Pennetta is married to Fanini. Yes, but she has a Grand Slam, so yeah, is automatically better. And she stopped Serena from. Wait, no, that was Vinci. She took the Serena Slam. She took the fourth Slam from Serena. That Serena was trying to win. 15-30. As we go to backhand return. Into the forehand of Sinner. Backhand out from Paul. Again to the backhand of Sinner. As Paul backhand down the line in the net. Ooh, I like that he went for it. 30-0. Paul's so lucky. Bro, you must have got here. What, you think Sinner's been double folding the whole time? You think Sinner just forgot his racket and gave him a lead? Come on. Paul's earned this lead. 30-0. 30-0. Still a chance for Paul to get the double break. Fanini's still trying to win a slam. I think Fanini retired this week, didn't he? Did he retire this week? There's a bit of fault from Sinner. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Paul. Return goes into the forehand of Sinner. Paul backhand. Into the backhand of Sinner to the forehand of Paul. As Sinner. Again to the forehand of Paul. Down the line to the backhand of Sinner on the stretch. Paul gets it with a slice. It's a little bit short. Sinner then with a drop shot. Oh, sorry, a slice as well on the forehand side. Now we go backhand to backhand. It's Sinner in the net. 30-40, and this crowd doesn't know what to do. 30-40. For a double break. 30-40. Paul is so underrated. Oh, yeah. Paul is the most underrated player in the ATP. As Paul returns, a winner. You know what, Chad? The only person who's not surprised is Tommy Paul. He is the only person that is not surprised by this. You're surprised, I'm surprised, Sinner's surprised, the crowd's surprised, Darren Cahill's surprised. Tommy Paul's the only guy that actually is like, yeah, of course they had a return winner against the world number one. Are you kidding me? Look at his serve. It's trash. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? He hasn't played for 3 months. I've been kicking butt. Come on. And maybe his coach might have been like, yeah, so this is what we planned for. Maybe the coach, but I reckon the coach is probably shocked too. Holy shit, 4-love against this guy? What the hell? But it's not. Doesn't matter if you have 4-love. You got to win the set. Paul's got an insurance break. As we got a backhand now from Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner. Paul backhand. Again, the backhand of Sinner. To the backhand of Paul. Sliced into the backhand of Sinner. As Paul. Again with the backhand of the forehand of Sinner. And Sinner hits it wide. Man, Sinner is definitely not at the same level as he was against Ruud. Yet. But chat, we know Sinner's going to start chasing Paul down. So Paul better keep running. While Sinner's napping, you got to keep running. You extend that lead as far as possible before Sinner wakes up. You keep running. Run! Just run! Run, Tommy, run! 15 love. As the return goes out by Sinner, 30 love. You get these 3 points. And you run. And you don't look back. Because if you look back, he'll be there. He'll be right behind you. He'll be 4-0 in no time. You run. You keep running. 30 love. Hey, Edward, thank you for the 32 months. Fanini didn't retire this week. Oh, really? I thought he announced that it was his last Rome tournament. Oh, okay. So he is retiring this year. As Paul gets a 40 love. Captain America cooking, yeah. All right, 40 love. And Sinner returns into the forehand of Paul. Sinner forehand on the stretch. Paul down the line. That's a good shot. Sinner's got it, though. As Paul backhand goes out, and it's 40-15. 40-15. Still a chance to go to 5 love. As Paul serves a fault. Second serve. Serving to the forehand of Sinner, return into the forehand of Paul. Sinner backhand. To the backhand of Paul. And Sinner backhand again. Goes long. 5 love. 5 love, Paul. And this crowd is shocked. All right. 5 love, Tommy Paul. What is going on? 5-0. Sinner's going to serve to get a game. 11 unforced errors in 5 games. Yeah, and this is it. Like I said at the start of the match, if Paul's going to come, like Paul is doing exactly what we said he had to do if he was playing against the crazy Sinner from the other day. But the crazy Sinner from the other day hasn't shown up yet. It's not. This is the Sinner that plays Cerundolo, where it has some errors. He looks a little rusty. But Tommy Paul is like doing everything on his side of the court perfectly. He's hit a couple of errors, like 2 or 3 errors. He's serving well. Like Paul is playing exactly the way he had to play to come out here. In anticipation of Sinner being the rude version, right? But Sinner's not playing like he was against Rude. Sinner's playing more like he was against Cerundolo, where it was, rusty. And that's why Paul's getting this massive lead. 5 love. But Sinner's not going to play like that forever. So that's why I'm saying Paul's got to run. He's got to win this set. Try and get as far away as possible from... Try and get a set and a break before Sinner starts playing good. Because he will play good. Eventually. This won't be like this forever. Sinner's gonna find his game eventually. All right. Sinner serving to get on the board, which is kind of wild. Sinner serves. Into the backhand of Paul. Return goes to forehand of Sinner. Paul backhand. To the backhand of Sinner. Into the backhand of Paul. To the forehand of Sinner. It's Paul backhand. Getting the forehand of Sinner. Sinner hits it out. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. Serve again. Into the backhand of Paul. Return goes backhand of Sinner. Paul forehand cross. Goes wide. 15-all. 15-all. I still got a feeling that Sinner's going to, if he wins this game, might break him, then get to like 5-3, and then Paul's got a little more pressure. I don't know. I don't feel like Paul's going to... I don't know. Does anyone else feel like Paul might give one of these breaks back and then it might get to like a 6-3 instead? Get a little bit closer at the end? I don't know. 15-all. Backhand return from Paul into the forehand of Sinner. Paul backhand. Into the forehand of Sinner. And as Paul with the forehand goes long, and it's 30-15. 30-15. 30-15. Adam. I don't know why is it not reading out the voice? And it's Sinner 40-15. Thank you, Adam, for the 5. I think this will go 3 sets if Paul keeps it up and wins the first set. I predicted Sinner to win slow, but wow. Yeah, no, I think this will go 3 sets if even if Paul wins his set. As a return from Paul, goes in and Sinner with a forehand win up. 5-1. Sinner's on the board. Sinner on the board. All right, Paul serving for the set, though. All right. Sinner gets the game. 5-1. Sinner just having a chat to the coaches and being like, what the hell are we doing? Vagnosky is like, bro, can you play well? And Sinner's like, I'm trying. I don't speak Italian. I don't know what they're saying. But I'm guessing that's what they're saying. Like, I'm sure his coach is saying like, hey, man, try better. Be better. Be a better player. And Sinner's like, I'm trying, man. Like, he's really good. This guy's really good. And then his coach is like, yeah, but you're really making me look bad. I think that's what they said. I don't speak Italian, though, so they could say something else. It sounded like they said that, maybe. Is it a 4-4 rally? Sinner on the stretch. Paul with a slice. And Sinner hits a backhand into the forehand again of Paul. To the forehand of Sinner. There's Paul on the stretch in the net. 15-all. That's exactly how it went? Oh, geez. Okay. Maybe I do speak Italian. All right. 15-all. 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 All right, see you later, Dutchie. As Paul serves again. And the return goes in. Paul with a volley, but then Sinner gives him another volley and the easy one put away from Paul. 30-15. 30-15. How are you up so early? I never went to sleep. 30-15. And his return goes into the net by Sinner. 40-15. Paul with 2 set points to take the first set. Serve. Into the backhand of Sinner. Good return. Paul gets it with a slice. Sinner backhand. In the net. Wow. The crowd are stunned. They're not making a noise. 6-1 to Paul. And the crowd, it's a full packed house. You wouldn't know it. It's quiet. Dead quiet. No one is speaking. Everybody's in shock. Except for Tommy Paul. He's like, this is exactly what I thought would happen. He knew something, chap. We didn't know. He knew. He knew. By the way, Chad, it's so funny how people like jump off the Titanic as soon as they smell an iceberg. Like, oh, Tommy Paul won the first set. Everyone's like abandoning ship. Like, how many people in the chat are just like, oh my God, Sinner's actually very bad. That everyone's getting off the ship. Just stay on the boat, all right? Relax. We haven't hit the iceberg yet. You don't have to dive overboard. It's all right. Just relax, everybody. There's not even an iceberg in sight. Just relax. By the way, 2 winners from Sinner, 13 errors. Ugh. 6 winners from Paul, 8 errors. I mean, Paul, he's not playing great. There's a few more errors than maybe he would have liked. But, hey, look, if Sinner's going to give you 3 points, take them. But I don't think Sinner's going to play like this all night. I think Sinner's going to put the foot down eventually. Paul's got to keep winning games, though. Keep running. It's a long, long mountain to climb. Yeah, Paul's not even at base camp yet. Everest isn't even started. The match starts now. The match will start right now. I wouldn't even say this levels the match. Like, this doesn't make it even. Paul with a set, it's still Sinner's the favorite. He's just given Paul a head start. Now you watch Sinner start doing his thing. Paul's not playing great. Are you serious? 6 winners, 8 errors is not a great ratio. If he had 10 errors and 10 winners and 1 error, I'd say he is playing great. Tommy Paul is not playing statistically great. He's serving well, but he's made a lot of errors. 8 errors, 6 winners, that's not a positive ratio. Which is scary because it means Paul could be better, right? All right. By the way, Paul's just saying to the umpire that some of the nails are coming up from the lines because the lines are nailed down. And they're trying to fix it. Sinner's gone to the bathroom, by the way. All right. Jams.
Think this will go to 3 sets if Paul keeps it up and wins the first set. I predicted Sinner to start so, but wow.
Thank you, Adam, for the 5. And I have no idea why it's not playing the other one. Let's try it again. Hang on. Jams.
Sinner is about to make the place go crazy.
Watch out. All right, here we go. Sinner serving first. In the second as Paul goes again to the forehand of Sinner. Into the backhand of Paul as Sinner forehand. Into the forehand of Paul. Again to the forehand of Sinner. As Paul again to the Sinner forehand. As Paul goes down across court again to the forehand of Sinner. Into the slice of Paul. As Sinner backhand down the line. Paul's got a forehand of the stretch. But he hits it out. 15 love. 15 love. Winner of this plays Alcaraz, by the way. If you didn't know, Alcaraz won earlier today. He beat Musetti. All right, 15 love. As we serve from Sinner. Into the forehand of Paul. To the back of the Sinner. That's a great shot from Sinner. Paul gets it. Hits it out. 30 love. That last shot was a good, very good shot by Sinner. 30 love. $30 love. $30 love. As with a fault. Second serve. As we return now to the backhand of Paul. Backhand of Sinner. To the slice of Paul. Paul in the net. 40 love. By the way, first set Sinner's lost since the Australian Open. And I want to say it was against Runa. In the 4th round was the last time he lost a set. Chat, sometimes I surprise myself with how my brain remembers useless, dumb information that's only useful in this situation right now. It was the last time he lost a set. It was against Runa. Second set against Runa in the round of 16 at the Australian Open. Chat, if I used that in any other way, nobody would care. But you care, and I love you for it. 40 love is Sinner in the net. 40-15. 40-15. 40-15. 40-15. As with a serve. Into the forehand of Paul. Backhand from Sinner. To the backhand of Paul. As Sinner hits... Paul hits it out. And it's 1 love Sinner. 1 love Sinner. All right. What happened with Rude? He's not playing next week. Whoops. All right. Sinner gets a game and everyone goes wild. Here we go. Cam, would you pick 2025 Sinner over 2008 Rafa on clay? Rafa on clay against everybody in the world ever played. Like you can't compare anyone to Rafa on clay. That's impossible. I don't care who is like chat. Name a player on a surface, and I'll still pick Rafa on clay. Anyways, backhand into the forehand of Sinner. Paul with the forehand on the stretch. Sinner on the attack, and he puts it away. Chat. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. As Paul serves. And the return goes into the forehand of Paul. Forehand from Sinner on the stretch. Can't get it. Good shot from Paul. 15-0. 15-0. 15-0. As a return, goes to the forehand of Paul. Backhand from Sinner on the stretch. Paul with a volley. Sinner with a pass. Paul with a volley. Sinner with a forehand pass. Too good. 15-30. 15-30. Sinner trying to get the break early in the second set. As we return now to the forehand of Paul. Oh, Paul whips it cross court for a winner. Beautiful shot. 30-0. Okay. 30-0. Paul trying to keep Sinner away in this game. Fault. Second serve. Oh, double fault. The crowd go wild. They love that double fault. It was the best thing they've seen all day. 30-40. 30-40. First break point of the day for Sinner. As the return goes back into Sinner. Forehand from Paul. Into the forehand of Sinner is Paul. Again to the forehand of Sinner. Into the forehand of Paul. The Sinner. Down the line. Paul gets with the backhand on the stretch. Sinner backhand. Again to the backhand of Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner. Paul wins the point. Sinner hits it out. Deuce. Okay. We get to deuce. Serve again. As the return goes to the backhand Sinner, backhand slice from Paul. As Sinner backhand of Paul, and Paul over hits it. Advantage. Advantage Sinner. Advantage Sinner. To take the break. As return goes into the Forehand of Sinner. Forehand from Paul down the line. Sinner's got there with the backhand. And he hits a winner. Sinner breaks. Okay. He's here now. He's here now. All right. 2-love Sinner. And the coaches are fired up. The coaches are fired up. Darren Cahill's like, all right, finally. Let's go. Here we go. Sinner serves the back of the Paul. Forehand from Sinner. Paul guesses right with a pass. What a shot.
This is going to be on tennis TV, bro.
It's funny because I reckon Ruud was getting more cheers from the crowd than Paul is. But it's because Ruud wasn't winning. Whereas Paul is winning and they're like, yeah, don't do that. Stop winning. Stop hitting winners. All right. Love 15. The crowd. That was a great shot. The crowd's like, yeah, but you've got to set, all right? So calm down, all right, buddy? Serve. Into the back of the Paul. Return goes to forehand Sinner. And he hits a winner. 15-all. 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 To serve again. And the return goes into the forehand Paul. And Sinner hits it long. 15-30. 15-30. 15-30. 15-30 is going to serve again from Sinner. As return goes into the backhand of forehand Paul. Forehand from Sinner into the forehand Paul. And Sinner with the backhand cross court. The backhand of Paul into the backhand of Sinner. As Paul again to the backhand of Sinner. Into the slice of Paul. As Sinner slices it back. Paul. Forehand again to the backhand of Sinner. Into the forehand of Paul. As Sinner with the backhand again to the forehand of Paul. Who goes down the line for a winner. Tommy Paul, 15-40. Sinner better lift. If Paul's playing like this. 15-40. What a shot. 15-40. And Paul's got to play like that because Sinner's only going to get better. And even Sinner was saying bravo after that. I mean, yeah, too good. That was too good. Chat, we're watching the most underrated man in tennis. The most underrated man. 15-40. Sinner serves an ace. 30-40. 30-40. 30-40. 30-40. As Sinner serves another ace. And we get to deuce. We get to deuce. We get the deuce. Sinner serves again. Serve to the back end of Paul. Return goes into the forehand of Sinner. Paul. Into the back end of Sinner. To the back end of Paul. Is Sinner. Down the line, Paul gets on the stretch. Sinner forehand. Again, the forehand of Paul on the stretch. As Sinner on the attack. Again to the forehand of Paul. As Sinner again with a forehand. Cross-court winner. Yeah, Sinner's throwing this hammer now. He's not mucking around. Advantage Sinner. Advantage Sinner. Advantage Sinner. Advantage Sinner to get the 3-love. Paul returns it wide. 3-love Sinner. The world number 1 has appeared. 3-love in this second set. Okay. Okay. Three love. As a Sinner fan, I'm not used to sitting on the edge of my seat. It's not comfy. Who would expect Paul to win Rome? But he may. It's about a winning attitude, maybe. After watching this set, you still won't pick 2025 over Rafa on clay in 2008. Why are you asking silly questions? I don't even think Sinner fans would pick Sinner over Rafa at 2008 on clay. Like, come on. Paul is saving energy for the third. He's only down 1 break. But it's still, you got to break Sinner. Good luck. A lot of first game Masters champions this year. Maybe Paul's next. Maybe. I think Paul's going to win a 1000 eventually. He will win one. All right, 3 love. Three love. As a return goes into the net from Sinner, 15 love. 15 love. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes to the back end of Paul. Back end from Sinner. To the back end of Paul. Sliced into the forehand of Sinner. As Paul backhand. Into the forehand of Sinner. To the forehand of Paul. As Sinner backhand on the stretch. Paul gets it with the backhand into the forehand of Sinner, who shanks it. Wide. 30 love. 30 love. Love. As the return goes in the forehand of Paul. Paul hits a winner. 40 love. 40 love. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes to forehand of Paul. Paul hits it wide. 40-15. 40-15. As Serves a fault. Second serve. Double fault. 40-30. $40-30. $40-30. As the return goes to the corner pole, backing out from Sinner to the corner pole. As Sinner hits a winner down the line. We get to deuce from 40 love. All right, deuce. Sinner, by the way, his backhand shot quality is at 9.7 in this set. Return goes in the front of Pole. Down the line to the back of Sinner. Pole, forehand. Into the front of Sinner. To the front of Pole. Sinner forehand. Again to the front of Pole. Sinner with the forehand down the line. Pole's going to get there with a slice, but it's in the net. Advantage Sinner for the 4-love lead. Advantage Sinner. Advantage Sinner. As the return goes into the front of Paul. And Paul hits it out. 4-love. Okay. Sinner's got the double break in the second. 4-love. Love Sinner. Yeah, Paul was off 40 love as well. That was a tough game. All right. 4-love Sinner in the second set. All right, nice hitting from Sinner, 15 love. All right. As Paul has in the return in the net, 30 love. $30 love. All right, return goes out by Paul, 40 love. 40 love. $40 love. Sinner of the forehand of Paul. Return goes to the forehand of Sinner. Paul with the forehand to the backhand of Sinner. Into the backhand of Paul. Paul hits it out. 5 love. Sinner in the second. 5-0. This crowd have found a voice now. Now they're starting to make some noise. 5 love. All right. 5-0. By the way, this is kind of like what happened at Indian Wells with Draper and Alcaraz. Remember? First set was like 6-1, and then it was love 6, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 6-1 Draper, and then love 6 Alcaraz, and then 6-4 Draper final set. So Paul should win the 6-4 final set. It's the exact same score. It's wild. And we were shocked then. We were just as shocked then as we are now. All right. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, we're at 500 likes. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. We've got the women's final tomorrow and then the men's final on Sunday. All right. Paul serving to get a game. All right. Paul serving. To serve first in the third as well. I think that is also important. It was important in the first set for Paul. As a fault, second serve. As we return out of the backhand of Sinner. Paul with a slice, Sinner with a volley. What a pickup by Sinner.
This is going to be on tennis TV.
It was a half volley drop shot winner off Sinner's racket. Crazy. Love 15. Love 15. As we return from Sinner to the front of Paul. Sinner forehand of the stretch. Paul back in open court. Sinner gets there, but it's in the net. 15 all. 15 all. Serve again. As a return from Sinner goes to the front of Paul, but he shanks it out. And it's 15-30. By the way, we haven't even played 1 hour yet. Some of the matches over the weekend or over the week have been 1 hour for a set. And that's like a 6-4 set. I mean, this has been the kind of match that I like. All right, 15-30. The return into the forehand of Paul. Paul hits a wide. 15-40. Sinner is about to win the second 6 love. $15.40. $15.40. Sinner returns the back of Paul. Sinner back on the stretch. Is out. 30-40. 30-40. 30-40 still. Set point. As a return from Sinner goes to forehand of Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner. As Paul forehand to the forehand of Sinner. Again, the forehand of Paul. As Sinner with the backhand cross court. Sinner, Paul's got it with the backhand cross into the backhand of Sinner. Again, the backhand of Paul. Sinner backhand again to the backhand of Paul. Sinner goes down the line. Paul on the stretch. Gets it. Sinner backhand cross. Paul's there with a slice. Sinner in control as he goes forehand again. Paul gets it. Sinner backhand inside out winner. That's the set. 6 love. Okay. 6-0 to Sinner. Six love. We're going 3. 1 set all. 1 hour played. What is this match? Okay. So Sinner lifted in that set, obviously. 10 winners, 4 errors from Sinner. Much, much better than the first set. Paul, 5 winners and 9 errors. Not terrible. A couple of double faults, though. Not terrible. I mean, he played similar in the first set. You know, he had 6 winners and 8 errors, right? So he hasn't really changed his level. It's been Sinner that's just gone from very average to that. Serving was amazing by Sinner as well. Okay, let's see how the final set goes. See, now Paul's going to have to lift. Because Sinner's changed his level. Sinner's changed his level. Paul's got to try and lift. All right. Weirdest scoreline of the whole year? Not really. I mean, we had the same thing happen at in Indian Wells with Draper Alcaraz, and we're just as shocked there as we are now. It would be really surprising if Paul won this 6-1 in the third. That would be a shock. If Sinner goes on to win this 6-2 in the third, we'd be like, okay. But if Paul wins this easily in the third, that would be a massive surprise. All right. It is an unusual scoreboard, though. We don't usually see the score look like this. But here we are. All right. Sinner's going to serve first in the final set. Let's see if Paul can hang with Sinner now. Because this is going to be tough. Sinner serves. And the Paul return goes out. 15 love. Serve again. As we have forehand from Sinner. Into the forehand of Paul as he goes down the line. The backhand of Sinner. Backhand of Paul. Into the forehand of Sinner as Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner. Again, the forehand of Paul. Sinner forehand to the forehand again of Paul. He hits a drop shot, but it's wide. 30 love. 30 love. Serve again. As a return, goes the backhand of Sinner, backhand from Paul, into the backhand of Sinner as Paul forehand on the stretch. Sinner again to that Paul forehand as Sinner goes down the line. Paul's there with the backhand. Into the backhand of Sinner. Again, the backhand of Paul as Sinner backhand down the line. Paul's got it with a forehand. Into the forehand of Sinner. The forehand of Paul as Sinner with the backhand. To the slice of Paul. Paul net. 40 love. Jams.
Sinner is about to make the place go crazy.
Yes, he is. And he did. Thank you for the donation. Also, 13 games.
13 game in 2 sets. That's crazy. Now the third setter.
Let's see. Thank you for the donations. All right. Sinner, 40 love. And then an ace for 1 love. Final set. 1-0. Final set. As Paul serves. Paul has to hold. As Paul serves. And the return goes into the forehand of Paul. Sinner. Down the middle. Paul's there with the backhand. Into the backhand of Paul. Again to the backhand of Sinner. As Paul in the net. Love 15. Love 15. As we get another let. Serve again. The forehand of Sinner. Return goes to the forehand of Paul. And Paul hits it out. Love 30. Love 30. Serve again from Paul. As we return to the forehand of Paul. It's in the backhand, goes wide. 15-30. 15-30. Serve again. Seven to the backhand of Sinner. Return to the forehand of Paul. Sinner backhand again to the forehand of Paul, to the forehand of Sinner. As Paul forehand again to the forehand of Sinner, to the forehand of Paul in the stretch. Sinner backhand. Into the backhand of Paul, to the forehand of Sinner as Paul backhand again. Sinner's got it. Again to the backhand of Paul as Sinner. Again with the backhand of Paul into the forehand of Sinner. As Paul down the line. Sinner's got it with the backhand cross. Paul gets it with the backhand into the backhand of Sinner. Again to the slice of Paul as Sinner with the forehand down the line. Goes out. 30-all. 30-all. Serve it wide the forehand of Sinner. Forehand from Paul. The backhand of Sinner. As Paul backhand to the forehand of Sinner on the stretch. Goes in the net. 40-30. Paul to get the first game of the second. So the third. For him. All right, 40-30. All right, Paul serves a fault second serve. There's a return from Sinner to the forehand of Paul. Sinner with a forehand into the forehand of Paul. Paul in the net. We get the deuce. We get to deuce. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As the return goes in, the forehand of Paul, forehand from Sinner. Again to the forehand of Paul. Sinner down the line is a winner. Advantage Sinner to take the early break in the final set. All right. Advantage Sinner. As Paul serves a fault. Second serve. Oh, sorry, first serve was a let. Now it's a second serve. That's a double fault. All right. 2-love. Sinner's won 8 games in a row. All right. 2-love in the third for Jannik Sinner. All right. Paul has got so much work to do now. He has to break back almost immediately, you would think. All right. Nice serving Sinner. 15-love. $15-love. Sinner serves. An ace. 30-love. 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 As we have a fault second serve. As we have a forehand now to the backhand of Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner. Paul with the backhand. Into the forehand of Sinner. Again to the backhand of Paul. Sinner backhand. Into the slice of Paul. Sinner with the forehand again to the Paul backhand. As Sinner in the net with a backhand, 30-15. 30-15. 30-15. 30-15. Serve again. Is a fault by Sinner. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Paul. Sinner backhand. Into the backhand of Paul. Into the forehand of Sinner. And he puts it away. 40-15. 40-15. To go to 3-love in the third, Sinner. All right. Serve is a fault. Second serve, Sinner. As the return goes to the forehand of Sinner. Paul with the forehand into the forehand of Sinner. Sinner hits it out. 40-30. 40-30. 40-30. Sinner for a 3-love lead. As a return, goes in the forehand of Sinner. Backhand of Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner on the stretch. Paul forehand. Straight to Sinner's backhand, who goes down the line, but Paul's there with the forehand cross court. Sinner puts up a lob. Bounce smash for Paul. Sinner guesses right with the backhand. Back in the rally. Paul hits it wide. 3-love Sinner. Good defense from Jannik Sinner. 3-love. In the third. All right. 3-love. Sinner in the final set. What's going on, chat? Where are we watching from? I haven't asked that today. Where are we watching from? Let me know in the chat. Where are you watching from? I'm in Australia at 6 a.m. We've got Italy, USA, Los Angeles, Brazil, Mexico, Chicago, Italy, New Jersey, Australia, UK, Florence, Greece, Milan, Philippines, Bangladesh, New York, Boston, Philippines, 4 a.m. Nice. We've got Italy, France, San Diego, Lagos, Canada, Manila, Boston, Paris, India, Toronto, Seattle, France again. A lot of people from France. Germany, Italy, Saudi, Toronto, Berlin, Trinidad, Texas, Jamaica, Dallas, Montreal, New Zealand, Jamaica, Copenhagen, Mississippi, Valencia, Belgium, Washington, D.C., Switzerland, Luxembourg, Lebanon, South Africa. Paul serving to get on the board here. As the return goes into the backhand Sinner. Volley from Paul in the net. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. As a return, goes in the front of Paul. Sinner backhand. To the backhand of Paul. It's Sinner. Backhand in the net. 15-all. 15-all. As the return goes back into Paul. Paul hits a winner, 30-15. Lovely backhand winner. 30-15. As a return, goes out by Sinner, 40-15. Paul to break the streak of games. Serve. Into the back of Sinner. 4 now from Paul. Into the front of Sinner. Sinner in the net. All right. 3-1. Paul holds. 9 games in a row, though, for Sinner. Okay. But Sinner still has a break. 3-1. Love 15 as that goes out by Sinner. Love 15. As we just serve again. And the return goes to Vaughan to Sinner. Paul with the forehand on the stretch. Puts up a lob. It goes in. Sinner with a forehand. Again to the forehand of Paul in the stretch. Into the forehand of Sinner. Paul back in the rally. And it's a forehand to the backhand of Sinner. Into the backhand of Paul. And Sinner again to the backhand of Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner. Down the line of the forehand of Paul. And Sinner forehand on the stretch. Goes in the net. Love 30. Love 30. Love 30. Love 30. Chance for Paul to break back. As the return goes into the back of the Paul. Paul hits it wide. 15-30. 15-30. 15-30. Serve. Here's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes back in a pole, forehand of Sinner is out. 15-40. Break back points for Paul. $15.40 to get back the break. As with a fault from Sinner. Second serve. As a return from Paul. Into the forehand of Sinner. Sinner hits it out! We're back on serve. 3-2 Sinner. But Paul gets the break back. Okay. 3-2. Yep, not over yet. Three, two. Three, two. As we serve now from Paul. Can he level this final set? That is the question. That is the question. Winner of this plays Alcaraz in the final, by the way. Someone has to reset Sinner's Cyborg, okay? Paul will win the next 4 games, you reckon? That'd be wild. That would be crazy. Right leg is the issue. What, Sinner's got a right leg issue? Let me keep an eye on it. Okay. Here we go. They're showing the physios of Sinner, so must be something going on with him. Paul back on serve. 3-2. As Paul serves. A fault. Second serve. As the return goes to forehand of Paul, forehand of Sinner. Into the forehand of Paul, a Sinner forehand. Again to the forehand of Paul, Sinner. Into the backhand slice of Paul, but Paul in the net. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. Does anyone know what the red butterfly is on Sinner's hat? It's actually a logo of a wolf. Of a fox, sorry. Of a fox. It's his fox logo. Love 15. As it a forehand down the line of the backhand of Sinner. Tommy Paul forehand. Goes long. Love 30. Love 30. Sinner looking for that break again. Love 30. Love 30. As a return from Sinner goes out. 15-30. 15-30. 15-30. As Paul serves a fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Sinner. Backhand now goes down the line in the net from Sinner, and it's 30-all. 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 Paul serves again. If you're just joining us, Paul was down love 3. We're serving down the forehand of Sinner. Backhand from Paul. Into the backhand of Sinner. It's Paul. Forehand again to the backhand of Sinner. Into the forehand of Paul. Sinner backhand. Doesn't need to be hit. Paul hits it long. And it's 30-40. Sinner to get the break again. 30-40. 30-40. As the return goes in, the forehand of Paul. Sinner backhand. Into the forehand of Paul. Sinner backhand again. To the forehand of Paul. Sinner with the backhand in the net. Jeez, Sinner's making some bad errors. Deuce. All right, we get the deuce. As we return now to the forehand of Paul. Sinner backhand. Into the forehand of Paul. Again to the backhand of Sinner. As Paul backhand. Again to the backhand of Sinner. As Paul again with the backhand into the backhand of Sinner. To the backhand of Paul. Sinner. Into the forehand of Paul. As Sinner with the forehand of the stretch. Paul. Cross court. Sinner gets there with a forehand. As Paul on the attack. And Sinner goes down the line for a winner, man. Paul hit some good shots. But that last shot, Sinner just knew where it was going. And he gets advantage. Man. Paul hit some two great forehands, but Sinner just knew where it was going. The anticipation was crazy. Advantage Sinner. And Paul knows it. He's like, damn it, I played really good tennis. All right, advantage Sinner to get the break again. There's a return in the net from Paul. 4-2. Sinner breaks. Sinner gets the break. Man, that was a rough game for Paul. After all that fight. Sinner leads. Sinner with the break, 4-2, final set. Sinner serves. Into the forehand of Paul, return goes into the forehand of Sinner. Paul. Back into the stretch. He's out. 15 love. $15 love. $15 love. Serve into the back of the pole. Pole hits it wide. 30 love. $30 love. Serve again. Is a fault. Second serve. Into the forehand of Paul. Return goes back into Sinner. Paul forehand to the forehand of Sinner. To the forehand of Paul. Is Sinner back in on the stretch. Paul forehand inside out. Is wide. 40 love. Sinner for a 5-2 lead in this final set. 40 love. $40 love, Sinner. To go to 5 love. Seven for Paul. Return is out. 5-2. Sinner. Final set. He's one game away from that Alcaraz final. Just one game away. All right. I'll tell you though, Paul has pleasantly surprised everyone, I reckon. I don't think, even if he does lose this match, I think getting that first set, I really want to see Paul versus like Draper or something at the French. I feel like that'd be a great match. 4th round or something. Draper Paul 4th round. How about that? All right. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We have a big day tomorrow. Women's finals day. Gauff versus Pellini. And then, of course, Alcaraz versus the winner of this match in the men's final on Sunday. So get excited. All right. All right, here we go. Paul serving to stay in the match. It's been ages since last Alcaraz. Yeah, because Sinner was banned for 3 months. That's why it's been so damn long. Wasn't allowed to play for 3 months. Wowza.
Well, Sinner's biggest challenge comes from a guy who isn't known as a clay court specialist. Good on Tommy for making this a competitive match.
Yeah, thank you for the 2. All right, Paul forehand goes long. Love 15. Sinner's 3 points away. Love 15. Love 15. Not true. Carlos's inconsistency is the real problem. Bro, I'm about to... I don't want to do this, but I'm tired and I want to school you now because it's like, come on now. All right, so since they last played in Beijing, that was the last Alcaraz match. Shanghai, Tour Finals, Davis Cup, Australian Open. They've only been in 4 tournaments together. So there was only 4 opportunities where they could have played. Because remember, Sinner didn't play Paris. Sinner got banned. And yeah, Alcaraz has been inconsistent over the last, since the Australian Open. And maybe you can add the Australian Open, but they've only had 4 opportunities to play. So it hasn't been that long. It's just been a long time, but they haven't played. Sinner was banned. That's what stopped it. We would have seen a Sinner match in a semi-final somewhere along the line if Sinner wasn't banned. We would have seen it in Indian Wells, or we would have seen it in Monte Carlo, right? When Sinner was 1 and Alcaraz was number 3, maybe. We would have seen them play if Sinner didn't get banned. Well, we would have seen them get play earlier. 15:30. As Sinner returns the backhand of Paul. Sinner with a forehand. Into the forehand of Paul. Paul hits it wide. Sinner's got 2 match points. 15:40. To give us that match. And chat, Rome has delivered. It could go down as the best tournament so far this season for men and women. We've had it all. Serve from Paul. Into the forehand of Sinner. Return the net. 30-40. 30-40. As we serve again. Into the forehand of Sinner. Return goes in the forehand of Paul. And Sinner forehand on the stretch. Goes in the net. Paul survives for now. Deuce. Match point saved. We get to deuce. As the return goes in the forehand of Paul. Sinner with a slice. Into the backhand of Paul. To the backhand of Sinner as Paul. Again to the backhand of Sinner. And Sinner hits it wide. Advantage Paul. Serve again. Into the backhand of Sinner. Forehand from Paul. Goes out. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. As we get a return. Into the forehand of Paul. Sinner back on the stretch. Paul with a volley. Sinner's going to get it. Paul gets his right though and puts it away. Advantage Paul. Good guess by Tommy Paul. Emma.
Carrot.
Carrot. Thank you for the carrot. Okay. Advantage Paul. As a return, goes back into Paul. Back into Sinner. To the back of Paul. Sinner, forehand. Into the forehand of Paul in the stretch. Sinner backhand. In the net. And Paul holds. All right, 5-3. Sinner's going to serve for the match. And the Sinner matchup that we've all been missing the opportunity to see. We were all missing it so much when Sinner was gone. The greatest rivalry in tennis at the moment. Greatest active rivalry. And that is 4 points away. Sinner serves. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes into the back of Sinner. Oh, Sinner shanks it. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. Serving to the back of Paul. Back in a Sinner. Into the forehand of Paul. A Sinner forehand again to the forehand of Paul. To the forehand of Sinner. Paul forehand is long. 15 all. 15 all. Sinner serves again. As return goes to forehand of Sinner. Paul with a lob. Goes long. 30-15. 30-15. 2 points away. $30-15. Sinner serves a fault. Second serve the forehand of Paul. Forehand from Sinner goes long. 30 all. 30 all. There's still life for Tommy Paul yet. 30 all. By the way, I don't know what anyone was saying about Sinner. He looks fine. He hasn't had a medical timeout or anything, so it can't be bad. And he's not limping. He's fine. As a return from Paul, that's a great shot. Sinner gets it. As Paul back on the stretch, Sinner down the line. Paul gets with a lob. Goes in. Sinner with a bounce. Forehand. Paul stretch forehand again. Goes out. Match point Sinner. 40-30. 40-30. Yeah, Sinner always limps because he's got bad feet. He's got psoriasis on his feet, so that's why he walks with a limp. And you would think that after not playing for 3 months and playing the last few days, he probably that might have flared up, If anything, Match point. Serve to the back of the Paul, return to the back of the Sinner. Backhand Paul on the stretch. Into the back of the Sinner as Paul goes out. We've got a Sinker-as match. A Sinker-as final. Tennis is back. Sinner comes back. Tennis gets better. All right. Oh, look at Tommy Paul. He's got all smiles, Paul. He's like, hey, look, too good. You got me. But I'll tell you, Paul impressed. I think he shocked a lot of you guys in the chat for sure, right? What an impressive performance by Tommy Paul, especially that first set. And he didn't go down without a fight. That third set, he was still fighting. And man, the crowd are going nuts here. Sinner gets the win. Sinner versus Alcaraz, baby. That's what we want. Number 11. But Tommy Paul, definitely a threat for the French. Go make sure you keep it on him at the French. Should not be overlooked at Roland Garros. Is an absolute beast, Tommy Paul. Okay. Biggest Sinker-as final we've ever seen too, because they've never played in a 1,000 final. Man, the music's going crazy. They're going to be partying tonight in Italy. Friday night parties. All right. One match to go for the men's, and then we are going to Roland Garros, pretty much, via Geneva. Wasn't the prettiest match. 17 winners from Sinner, 32 errors. 13 winners from Paul, and 36 errors. But, of course, even though it wasn't pretty, it was competitive. And competitive matches are fun. All right. What are the odds on Sinner Alcaraz? No idea. But I would say that Alcaraz would be the slight favorite, I would guess. I would guesstimate that he's probably the slight favourite. Okay. Sinner toughed it out. Good on him. Yeah, that was the toughest match by far that Sinner's had. And now he's going to play Alcaraz, which is the toughest match. Tremendous effort from Paul, yeah. Sinner took Rome as a warm-up before being in the final was great. Yeah. Both these players seem mediocre and compared to Nadal. Why are we compared to Nadal? Rafa's not here. All right. It's the biggest rivalry in modern tennis, of course. Near the end, Cam timed me out. What are you talking about? I didn't time anybody out. What were you doing that was time-outable? I have no idea what you were doing, but I didn't time you out. You must have been pissing Nightbot off. Everyone's mediocre to Nadal. Yeah, on clay, obviously. Yep, finals on men's final is on Sunday. Cam, who do you think will win more slams in their career, Sinner or Alcaraz? Alcaraz. Nadal was a clay specialist. Yeah, but he won everything. Thanks, Juvan. Appreciate it. Sinner won't beat Alcaraz. Okay. Who's number 2 on Monday? Alcaraz. All right. Nadal won on every surface. Exactly. Looking forward to crazy Sunday. Oh, yeah. Sunday's going to be real crazy. Sunday is going to be fun day. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, Regina, we'll see you later. No idea when the final is going to be, but we'll find out tomorrow probably. No worries, Nikki. I hope his leg's okay. Again, I didn't notice anything. Like, nothing out of the ordinary. Sinner always walks with a limp because he has bad feet. Like, really bad, like he gets blisters and stuff. So I didn't see anything out of the ordinary from Sinner. He looked like he was just walking normally, unless there was... But he didn't get a medical timeout. So again, it can't be that serious if he didn't get a medical timeout. So again, I don't know where... Maybe I looked away and he was stretching his leg or something and I missed it, but he didn't look injured. $5 p.m. local time, both finals. Thank you, Hadar. Yeah, 1 a.m. my time. Cool. Touching the back of his thigh, and the announcers said that it was something, but no medical timeouts are probably not that bad. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. So it was blown out of proportion, because if it was bad, he would have got some treatment. So maybe he was just tight in the legs because he's played a lot of tennis this week, hasn't played for a long time. He touched his leg 3 times. Don't know how you missed it. I didn't see it. Maybe I thought he was scratching his leg. I didn't read anything into that. I didn't see him touch his leg at all. But if he did, I don't think we should freak out. Again, he didn't get a medical timeout. He just said he had something on camera. Well, I'm not watching it, but What did he say? Instead of yelling, getting shitty at me, why don't you tell me what's going on? Since the third round, God damn it, chat. See, chat, just listen to me every once in a while, please, for the love of God. He said, Sinner was talking about his right leg. Since the third round, I had blisters that doesn't allow me to move as well, and it's connected with that. I'm not concerned with the leg. Chat, can you just listen to me? I know something about tennis, right? From the third round, I had blisters. What did I just tell you? Hamstring? No. And he said he's not concerned. End of story. He has blisters. He gets blisters all the freaking time. Chat. Come on. Head-to-head has them even at one apiece in finals. Yeah, they've played 2 finals, true. The commentator in the match said something about Sinner's hamstring. Yeah, okay, so the commentators on TV, which you should be muting them anyway, hang out here. So they got it wrong on the TV. That happens. I get it wrong too. So yeah, Sinner also said the conditions were colder and heavier tonight, which is fair enough. They were. And it's a very slow surface at night, so it makes sense why Sinner was maybe struggling to hit through the ball. Yeah, heavy conditions at night. He said his leg was tight because of the cold. Oh, that makes sense too. But again, no hamstring issues, no injuries. But chat, remember he's got psoriasis, so he's always going to have problems with he's always going to walk funny. It's why, chat, the reason why he had clostebol in his system was because he has blisters on his feet that got transferred from his trainer's hands. Like, we went over this so many times. We found out all this stuff about Sinner that we didn't need to know, like, his feet. We found that stuff out last year, so we know that is an ongoing issue that's going to be a part of his career forever. So, Anyways, nothing to worry about in the final. He'll have a day off tomorrow. The final's in the afternoon anyway, so it's not at night, so it doesn't matter. It won't be cold. Well, it might be cold because of weather, but it's not going to be as cold as tonight because tonight was 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So we'll see what happens. In the on-court interview now, he is saying there was problems under his feet, which flared up more today. There you go. ATP is saved. It was more ridiculous than the WTA in the past months. Yeah, it was. He paused quite a bit before answering about the leg. I have to watch the interview. I don't have it here. I'm not watching it. Psoriasis in the heat would be itchy. Yeah, I mean he's had it. Yeah, it's just a constant issue for him apparently. I did say TP would snatch a set. Well, you were right. You were correct. Does the doubles win over Eala help Gauff and Eala help Jasmine? Maybe a little bit. Not much, but more the match they played in Stuttgart helps Jasmine because that's a confidence boosting win. But yeah, I mean, it probably all helps as well that she beat Gauff already this week. He's saying it's blisters. Why are people imagining the worst? No, because apparently on the TV they were saying hamstring. So a lot of people in the chat are coming in, and that's fine. Like it's not your fault. People are coming in the chat, hearing the TV say hamstring, and then coming in here saying it's hamstring. But unless Sinner says it, he said his legs were tight and he's got blisters on his feet that he's been dealing with since the third round. So he was cold, And his legs were tight because obviously he hasn't played for that much this year, right? He's had 3 months off. But the blisters is the real one. But the blisters is the one that, like, that's the reason why he would have been limping around. And then he touched his leg because he was probably, his legs were tight. Because, again, even though he beat Ruud easily, he still played 4 matches that he hasn't played that level for 3 months, right? But yeah, it's not a hamstring. It's not no leg injury. Yeah, the commentators were just speculating. And then Sinner said he had blisters, yeah. Again, if he had a hamstring issue, he would have got a medical timeout. He would have wrapped his leg because there's no way he would have played on without a medical. We thought it was a hamstring because he grabbed the back of his leg. I thought he was cramping. Again, I didn't see that, but again, I might have looked away. If he comes out with strapping on the leg in training tomorrow, then it's definitely a problem. But he didn't get a medical timeout, so and Sinner does get medical timeouts. It's not like Sinner's too proud to get a medical timeout. So if there was something wrong, he would have got it addressed. If it was something serious, he would have got it fixed, or he would have got it treated. All right. Tim Hemmer's still going on about hamstring. Oh, fair enough. He's got blisters on his feet, and he's tight in the legs because he was cold. He wouldn't risk anything before RG. Yeah. He would have got a medical timeout at 5-2 if he had a injury. A cramp in the hamstring is one thing, but a tear is a whole other thing. A tear and you're done. Yeah, and I don't think it was either of those things. All right. We're out of here. Thank you for joining us, chat. It's been a big day, and it comes down to the last matches. We've got the finals of the ladies tomorrow, which is Gauff versus Paolini. We've got the finals of the men on Sunday, which is between Alcaraz and Sinner. So we'll be back tomorrow for the last couple of matches, and then, of course, most of the time, the next one is Roland Garros. But we are watching Geneva next week for Djokovic, so make sure you join us for that as well. But good win by Sinner. Good fight. Paul made it interesting. 1-6, 6-love, 6-3. What a scoreline. Tommy Paul put up a fight, but Sinner too good. And Sinner Alcaraz is going to be Sunday night. That is a beautiful preview of what we're going to find out with the French. Probably the winner of that match is probably the favorite for the French. So there's a little bit of that on the line as well. Favoritism for the French. Winner would probably take the spot. I mean, if Sinner beats Alcaraz, you say Sinner's a favorite. If Alcaraz beats Sinner, you say Alcaraz is the favorite, right? But I'll see you guys tomorrow for the women's final. 1-6, 6-love, 6-3. Sinner wins, beats Paul. He's into the final.